Good evening, welcome to You Can't Handle the Truth Movies. My name's Chris, this is James, and tonight we're going to look at warfare.
You can't handle the truth!
A platoon of Navy SEALs embark on a dangerous mission in Ramadi, Iraq, with the chaos and brotherhood of war retold through their memories of the event.
After our previous review of Sinners, we look like we're going to have another difference of opinion. And I didn't realise this was like a reenactment movie because the beginning, the first 20 to 30 minutes is very, very slow. But it is literally just what happened. I thought it was portrayed very well, done very well. You didn't have bad guys everywhere getting slaughtered. There were so little bad guys that you could actually see. After realising it was a reenactment, my mind was in actually being there. It's not a film I'd watch a second time and be like, oh, you got to see this film. I did feel what was happening in the moment it was happening, especially like when the bombs and that were going on. It was very slow paced.
If I wanted to watch a documentary, I'd have watched a documentary.
But a documentary it doesn't reenact things like in a cinematic way, does it?
I didn't want it reenacted in a cinematic way
Right.
because it wasn't worth watching. You know what goes on in war, and if you don't know what goes on in war, you're very shielded from life, and congratulations. This was so slow.
For a one-off watch, if you're in the mindset of you being the person there and just trying to, like, it really played out for you well.
With films like this, it doesn't even give you background on the people in it or anything like that.
Because they're real people.
So
they
absolutely have a background.
Exactly.
Honestly, this sounds terrible. When I see on the news someone's been shot and killed, I go, oh, that's sad. When I see these people being blown up and killed, I'm like, oh, that's sad. They don't matter to me.
I was watching it with my mindset of me being there and just feeling like when the bomb went off and they needed the adrenaline and all that sort of stuff, I was just thinking, yeah, this is kind of how it went down.
It's exactly how it goes down.
There was a lot of realism to the movie, and one of the things I don't like about the war movies is that they're just so ridiculous sometimes with all the dodging the bullets and stuff. There was one point, the tanks come in and they were blowing up that building. I swear to God, the smoke cleared and all the wall was still perfectly fine and just had some like black smoke marks on it. One thing I'm going to say that really got to me is that I was watching that guy, the mustache, and I was thinking, this guy's a bumbling idiot. And I thought, you know what, don't stereotype this guy. And then he injected himself in the phone with the morphine. He got caught in the door. Would he really have been that incompetent in the war, you know what I mean? When Will Poulter's like, oh, I'm just effed up. Yeah, this is kind of what would happen.
That's going to bring me to the next bit. The acting. Every single person in that film did a brilliant job of playing their role. Was their reenactment good? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If you go and ask the veterans that survived, they'd say this was pretty close to how it went down.
They come in at the end and they point out this is where this happened, this is where this happened. That's what I say.
That's
not a
really
Hollywood
impressive.
movie.
That is really impressive. And visually, it wasn't made to look, sparkly and shiny and great when you watch anything from America. But I liked that. But I did not want to watch it.
If this was like a firefighters thing and they went into the building and it followed the real events of a firefight, I would have enjoyed it as well. Or if it was like a police thing or something, I would have just enjoyed this style of movie. One film it reminded me of a little bit of was Jake Gyllenhaal in End of Watch. It wasn't quite as realistic, but that was quite a realistic film.
You're comparing this to End of Watch?
The style of movie, yes. Because it was a found footage movie.
Quality of movie, no.
It was a quality of movie. It's just a different scenario.
This is the thing. I can look at it and I go, the angles that the camera's being shot at, the fact that he didn't go, these are the bad guys, because you wouldn't. That's not how it happens in real life. The way they were with each other, the commands, everything like that, it was all done really, really, really well.
When they go to get the guns, and he's like, oh, I need my guns. And he goes in the room, like, oh, he shouldn't be going in the room. And he goes in again, he shouldn't be going in the room. When the grenade comes through the wall, it's like, oh, yeah, this is...
They all go, oh shit, I didn't like it because of my own issues with...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't watch this film again. I'm just rating this based on what it was trying to do. I think it did it really well and I enjoyed it for a one-off film. I would rather watch a fictional version, but just for what they tried to do and also for a bit of difference in the cinema nowadays, because everything's just the same. I'm chucking out there, for me, this movie is worth a watch, especially if you like war kind of films. If you obviously want a more fictional cinematic experience, it might not be for you.
If you're into realism, this is very realistic.
It's very realistic. I would give it a 7.
Do you know what? I would as well.
2 sevens. There you go.
I say no, I didn't like it, but I can appreciate everything that went into it. The veterans involved would be quite proud of how this movie came out.